Hey guys, welcome back to another great game of CEDH. Unfortunately, I don't have the opening hands, but starting us off is Hidden on Nixilis. The King of Ping is back. Fetch lands, mana vault, bowmasters, there's a lot of ping running around, and this man is set to capitalize with both card advantage and a massive body that can just take your opponents out. Next up is Mike on Kinnan, and what can I say that people don't already know? Kinnan makes way too much mana, lets you sit back on Kinnan activations for big dumb boys, and you have the ever-looming threat of just combo killing the table with a few very searchable artifacts. In the third spot is Griffin on Thrasios and Bruse. This is a Dawnwalker variant looking for several different infinite mana combos, or to just use Seedborn and Thrasios to grind advantage. And bringing up the rear is Noah on Tymna Kraum. Now this is the quintessential value commander pairing, letting you gain card advantage on two separate axes, while also having access to all the powerful combos CEDH is known for.
Alright, block there, kill that. Oh, that is trample. Guess I'm just dead on board.
Noah starts off the game with a Flooded Strand and fetches a Volcanic Island, tapping the land for blue to play out a Mystic Remora. Griffin plays a Tropical Island, and with no turn 1 play, ends his turn there. Hidden plays a Polluted Delta and cracks it, taking 1 to find a Blood Crypt, having it come into play tapped. Mike plays a Verdant Catacombs and cracks it for a Tropical Island. He then casts a Soul Ring and lets Noah draw off his fish. Mike then taps his ring for a Mana Vault. He lets Noah draw and passes with 1 floating mana. Noah untaps and pays for his fish. He plays an Exotic Orchard as land for turn, with Griffin at his end step Worldly Tutoring. He gives Noah a card and reveals a Kinnan to put on top. Griffin plays a Tundra as land and passes. Hidden plays a Sokuzan Crucible of Defiance as land for turn and also passes there. Mike plays a Cephalid Coliseum as land for turn. He then taps for 2 and takes a damage to cast his commander Kinnan. And with Kinnan out, Mike can then tap his Soul Ring for 3 mana and uses 2 of it to play a Mirage Mirror. This will trigger the Remora and Noah draws a card. Noah pays to keep his Remora around. He plays a Bloodstained Mire as land for turn, with Griffin on Noah's end step brainstorming. Noah draws, with Griffin drawing 3 and putting 2 back. Griffin plays out a Tarnished Citadel and taps 2 for his commander Thrasios. He then taps his Citadel for white, taking 3 damage in order to play an Esper Sentinel. Hidden plays an Emergence Zone and casts a Cabal Ritual. Noah and Griffin draw off the spell, with Hidden then using the 3 black and his red mana to cast his commander Nixilis, with the only response being Noah, who cracks his Mire to grab an Underground Sea. Mike heads to his turn and activates his Mirage Mirror. He can make it become a copy of Mana Vault, which helps him cast a Green Sun, where X equals 5. Mike pays for the Remora using his original Mana Vault, and allows the Esper Sentinel to draw. The tutor ends up resolving with Mike grabbing out a Seedborn Muse. But at Mike's end step, Noah casts a March of Swirling Mist, pitching a Pact Negation. He gives Griffin a card off the Esper Sentinel, and he targets the Seedborn and the Nixilis, with Mike responding with a Dispel to counter the March. But this will cost him 1 life, triggering the Ob to exile a Snuff Out, and Noah drawing off his Remora, with Hidden still at his end step casting a Snuff Out for its alternate cost, targeting the Seedborn. Noah will draw off the Remora, along with Griffin drawing off his Esper. Noah pays the 3 mana to keep his Remora around for another turn. He plays out a Marsh Flats as land for turn and follows it up with a Lion's Eye Diamond. He gives Griffin a card off the Esper Sentinel. Griffin plays an Exotic Orchard and needing more mana plays a Crop Rotation. He taps his Tarnished Citadel for colorless mana before sacrificing it. Noah draws off his Remora as Griffin grabs a Gaia's Cradle. Then using his colorless, Griffin plays out his own Seedborn Muse. But Noah counters the Muse with a Force of Will, pitching a Cyclonic Rift. This will cost him a life, which triggers Ob. Hidden then exiles a Badlands off the top, with Noah then triggering Ob again as he cracks his Marsh Flats to find a plateau, with Hidden exiling a Fire Covenant. Hidden plays his exiled Badlands' land for turn. Tapping out, he plays a Fate Unraveler. The creature resolves with Hidden then heading to combat, as he sends a 7/7 Nixilis at Mike. Mike untaps and takes 1 from his tap vault. This triggers with Hidden exiling a Burgie. Mike then draws and takes 1 from the Fate Unraveler, as Hidden exiles a Luxury Suite and puts another counter on his commander. Mike then taps his Sol Ring to have his Mirage Mirror become a Mana Vault, which helps him then activate Kinnan, although he does take 1 from his Cephalid Colosseum. Hidden exiles a Mayhem Devil, with Mike actually whiffing on his Kinnan search. Noah finally lets the Remora die and draws a card for turn. He'll take 1 damage from the Fate Unraveler, as Hidden exiles a Jeska's Will. Noah then plays a Scrubland, tapping it for a Sol Ring. The ring triggers the Esper Sentinel, and Griffin draws a card. He takes 1 from the Fate Unraveler, as Hidden exiles a Sol Ring of his own. Noah then taps his ring for Fellwar Stone, and taps out to play Kraum, heading to combat with Mike taking 4 from the Kraum. Griffin takes 1 damage on his draw, with Hidden exiling an Arcane Signet. Griffin then plays out an Arbor Elf, and ends his turn with a Volcanic Island as land for turn. Hidden on his turn casts a Sol Ring, and pays for Griff's Esper. Next up is an Arcane Signet, with the Signet triggering a draw off Kraum. Noah takes a damage, with Hidden exiling a Takenuma Abandoned Mire. He then plays out a Luxury Suite as land for turn, and follows all of that up with a Mox Opal. Hidden then casts a Jeska's Will, targeting Griffin. He makes 7 red mana and exiles a Deadly Rollick, All Will Be One, and a Prosper, Tomebound. Using his floating mana, Hidden then attempts to cast an All Will Be One, but Griffin counters the spell with the Fierce Guardianship. And with his win attempt stop, Hidden now is all about the value train, as he casts a Prosper with his remaining mana. The Prosper resolves, with Hidden then casting a Deadly Rollick, targeting Kinnan. He'll get a treasure off the Prosper, and heads to combat. Hidden sends his 14/14 commander at Griffin. However, Griffin has a response, as he casts a Cyclonic Rift targeting Ob, to save himself some commander damage, with Hidden at his end step exiling a Burning Inquiry from Prosper. Mike takes 1 damage from drawing, and plays a Treasure Vault as land for turn, ending his turn recasting his commander Kinnan. Noah takes 1 damage from his draw, and casts a Savine's Reclamation, targeting his Mystic Remora in the graveyard. He pays for Griff's Esper, and follows all this up with a Windswept Heath as land for turn, cracking the fetch for a Tundra. Noah then casts his other commander Tymna, and heads to combat. He sends Kraum at Hidden, with him paying 1 life to draw a card off Tymna, and another damage from the Fate Unraveler, with Griffin at Noah's end step activating Thrasios to reveal Basalt Monolith, putting it to hand. Griffin draws his card and takes 1 damage from the Fate Unraveler. Tapping 2, he casts his tutored Kinnan. Mike responds to Kinnan with the Pact of Negation, and allows Noah to draw a card, taking 1. Hoping to save his Kinnan though, Griffin activates Thrasios and finds a flooded strand of the battlefield. The Pact resolve, and Kinnan is countered. Hidden heads to his turn and replays his commander Ob. He then casts his own Mana Vault, with Noah drawing off his Remora, and Kraum, taking 1 twice. Hidden exiles a Kessig Flame Breather and a Vamp Tutor. He then casts his exiled Burning Inquiry and gets a treasure off Prosper. Noah draws a card off the Remora, as Hidden exiles an Arid Mesa. Noah then responds to the Burning Inquiry with an Orcish Bowmaster. Although Griffin doesn't want to lose his creature, and responds to the Bowmasters with a Spell Snare to counter the Bowmaster. Noah will draw off the Spell Snare thanks to his Remora, with Hidden exiling a Sulphurous Springs. The table then draw 3 and have to discard 3 at random, and each take 3 damage from the Fate Unraveler. This triggers Nixilis 9 times, with Hidden exiling a Wheel of Misfortune, Wooded Foothills, Tainted Pact, Mana Crypt, Pyretic Ritual, Talisman of Indulgence, Chrome Mox, Mox Diamond, and a Scheming Symmetry. Hidden then casts the Symmetry, targeting Mike. Hidden will get a treasure off Prosper, with Noah drawing a card off the Remora and taking 1. They find a card to put on top, with Hidden then casting an exiled mana crypt. He gets a treasure, with Noah not drawing, as he doesn't want to give Hidden the card he tutored for. Hidden then casts a Mox Diamond, discarding a command tower. He gets a treasure off Prosper, with Noah declining the draw. With Noah not drawing, Hidden keeps the value train a-rollin'. Hidden casts a Talisman of Indulgence, a Kessig Flame Breather, and a Chrome Mox. This time, the table takes 1 thanks to the Flame Breather. Noah will now draw off his Remora and takes 1 damage off the draw. Hidden puts another counter on his commander and exiles a Final Fortune. Hidden then exiles an Orcish Bowmaster from the Flame Breather and goes into the Think Tank. He ends up not imprinting the Chrome Mox and then casts an Underworld Breach from his hand. The table take 1 from the Flame Breather, with Noah drawing off his Remora and taking another. Although not wanting Hidden to just win, Noah casts a Force of Negation, pitching a Dispel. He doesn't pay for Griffin's Esper, with Griffin taking 1 from the Unraveler. Hidden in response to the Force casts a Vamp Tutor. Noah draws off the Tutor and takes 1 damage, with Hidden exiling a Firebrand Archer along with a Mountain due to the Flame Breather. With the Force still in the stack, Hidden cracks 2 treasures to play out a Pyretic Ritual. Noah draws off his Remora and takes a damage. Hidden then exiles a Deflecting Swat, and the table takes 1 off the Flame Breather. Hidden exiles a City of Brass while using his floating mana to redirect the Force to his Deflecting Swat. Noah though anticipated this and uses his own Deflecting Swat to deflect Hidden's Swat. Noah draws as Hidden exiles a Swamp, while also creating a treasure off Prosper. The Deflecting Swats cancel each other out, with Hidden exiling a Scalding Tarn. He then uses 2 treasures to cast a Tainted Pact. Noah draws a card off the Remora, takes 1 from the Unraveler, with Hidden exiling a Roiling Vortex. The table takes 1 damage from the Flame Breather, and Hidden exiles an Opposition Agent. Hidden then starts exiling cards off the top from the Tainted, ending up stopping with the Dualcaster Mage. Hidden casts the Dualcaster Mage using the 3 floating red and copies the Force of Will. The Force counters Force, with Hidden then casting a Grape Shot. The table take 1 from the Flame Breather, with Noah in an act of desperation, cracking his LED for 3 blue, before he draws off his Remora. But unfortunately, it's not a counterspell, as Hidden casts a Final Fortune to ensure his victory. With a storm count of 19, Hidden deals 9 damage to Noah and 10 damage to Mike, before moving to combat to hit him for 4 damage, taking him out. He then heads to his extra turn to take Griffin out with commander damage. Game review. Thanks to everyone that sat through that last turn, as it was a long one. There was probably a more eloquent and faster route to take, but my brain was already kind of mush by this point in the night. Luckily, I was able to keep my value pieces around, as the table was pretty interactive. But having to stop Seedborn Muses and Kinnans did drain most of the interaction, letting me go off for a second time, even if my first attempt was thwarted. Thanks to everyone that joined for the game, and before everyone leaves, I want to thank our special Patreon members, Slyfox, Tango Down, and Holy Septic for their support of the channel, along with all of our other Patreon supporters as well. And remember, never give up, even if you're dead on board. I'll see you guys later.